Hi, I'm going to make soap with you today from scratch. It's called True Soap, and these are my ingredients. Well, these are my botanicals. There's black seed, calendula, rosemary, all that stuff. It's really, really, really good for you. All right, I'm using my camera. I can't see if I'm in focus, and most of the time we're going to be here with our ingredients. So let's get started. You need sturdy equipment. This isn't a tutorial, it is a demonstration. You need a stick blender. Okay, you're going to need some lye. Okay, and you're going to need water. In this case, I'm using goat's milk. It's frozen. And this will be Strawberry Fields Goat's Milk Soap with watermelon and other fragrances and essential oils. I love essential oils in my soap because it helps my skin look and feel its best. So the first step is that I have my sweater on because you need to keep your skin covered. Gloves, mask, and I'm not going overboard. I've been bold and burned. All right, we're going to pour the lye. I need 8 ounces. .7 actually. I'm looking at my recipe card. I've already run this recipe through soap calc, so there. I think I may have enough for one more batch. Okay, now here we go. Sink. We're adding lye to frozen goat's milk, and I have some fruit, some watermelon in there. I like that fruit acid. This is going to get really hot, which is why it's in the sink and half frozen. You really need to get all of your lye out. And soaping equipment is just for soaping. So no, I'm not reusing any of this for food. Because the sugar, see, it's turning orange already because of the sugar in the milk. Alright, now we're going to begin to mix the lye with the fat. Alright, I'm going to pour my softened fats. This is pretty much room temperature fat. I didn't heat it up in a crock pot or... Well, I heated it up a little bit so that it's softened. And you gotta get all this out. Because every item, every ingredient is measured. So you need to try to get as much out as you possibly can. Yes, and see, this is why I don't like the handles. Never depend on a handle because it may snap off. So I'm just going to get all this in here as much as we possibly can. No, these utensils will not be reused in preparing food. You can get them from the dollar store, so you don't have to double up. And I would not suggest you use your finer utensils. However, Lye will eat through materials, including your skin, all the way down to the bone, if allowed to lay on it, to sit there. So you try not to just leave things sitting in uncured soap. By the way, it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for soap to cure. This is a cold process soap method. It is my goal to make a hot process soaping method demonstration as well. But as you see, this is pretty clean. Any amounts not added are negligible. But the goal is to get all of your ingredients in the pot. So for those of you saying there's a better way to do that, it probably is. And feel free to comment. Alright, now we're going to mix the lye and the fat. I don't have a lot of space on my camera. I've already measured the temperature. This is room temperature soaping. And although I stick blend, I use a spoon at first to get it mixed. You see the botanicals? There won't be much of that left in the finished product because the lye, like I said, will dissolve it. So if you want your botanicals to stand out after your soap has traced, then you can put in your botanicals. A long time ago, people just stirred. You had to stir a lot. Take all day. A lot of things have changed. If you ever saw the Beverly Hillbillies, and Granny was always stirring in that cauldron, she was making soap. Because you had to stir all day, and you used potash for lye. That's why when you leave your grill uncovered and rain gets in it, it will rust. Now this is going to be loud, so okay, change of plans. That soap batter is going into this crock pot so that I can demonstrate hot process soap making. Alright, this is the hot process method. As you can tell, it is quite different than what it looked like before. It's gooey. The soap is being cooked. So I'm turning it into usable soap as we speak in this crock pot. I've had to stir it, stir it, stir it. Other soap makers understand what I'm talking about. It's not quite ready for my taste. I've not zap tested it. But if you can kind of see, it's kind of glossy. That's Vaseline. It's the Vaseline stage. It's maybe been cooking for an hour or so. Some is more Vaseline than others. Some people will go ahead and put it in the mold at this point. And as you see, a lot of the botanicals have disintegrated. So I'll bring you back when it's time to go in the mold. Alright, I'm going to scent this soap and maybe add a little color and put it in the mold. This is hot process soap. I don't know if you can see it. There you can see it. This is the mold. This is wax paper, freezer paper, shiny side up. This is the crock pot that I put the batter in. And these are my colors. I have 4 of them. I hand blend my scents. And I'm going to add some warm vanilla because I like warm vanilla. So first, I had to let it cool down a little bit so that my fragrance does not evaporate. And I like the way my fragrances smell. I blend them myself. I buy fragrances and then I reblend them. And I can tell that this soap is actually going to take a while to harden up. So I may place the entire loaf in the freezer to cheat a little bit. Because this soap is done, I had zap tested it right after I stopped filming. I zap tested it and it's done. And after the water dries out of it, it's ready to use. If you use it before, it'll just melt faster. There's still some botanical in here. That's nice. Some people sea pop, but I really don't like the texture of sea pop, so I generally don't use it. Some fragrances it's okay to eyeball, and some are specific. Some are specific in how much you can use. I got up really early this morning to start this, and it took a strange turn. Only time I can get some peace is if I get up really early. So, this smells fabulous. Wow, it smells really good. Really good. I sound surprised. No, I'm not surprised. That's why I use this, because it smells so good. And I may use some color. I don't have to actually use color in this because this is the natural look of it. But sometimes most of the time when I use botanicals, I end up with brown soap from the heat and the lye and the agitation. And this has already gone through its gel stage. That's this particular stage. It's already done. So it shouldn't heat up anymore. Hope I can get all this in this mold. And this is how you get it in. Pretty much just plopping it in. But you know what? I said I wanted to try something different. Let's try this. That works too. Give it a slam. Get all the air bubbles out. Give it a good slam. Okay. Now I did that because I am going to put a little color in. melon red. Let's give that. That's probably going to be orange. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be probably a little orange. To contrast with the brown. And I probably should turn the fan off. It's cooling down my soap too much. Some people are like, those are Christmas colors. A little bit, yeah. Streaky. I need to hurry because it's stiffening. Yeah, it's stiffening. You know how children go through phases? This phase of curse words. Try not to say anything. I ignored. He may stop. Wow, this is a lot of soap. This is a lot of soap. So this is really, this is all I can get in this mold. So in those cases, you should always be prepared like a Girl Scout. And I saw these at the dollar store. Let's put it in here. I've been making soap long enough to know how to correct any misguided thoughts, errors, omissions. And that's the one thing about soap making. You really need to know how to correct a mistake, because nobody's perfect. You're supposed to soap when you have very few distractions. And this is about it. But as your day goes, you're going to have distractions. I mean, they're people, really. They're not distractions. So I try to start early. Now here this is. Now he doesn't say a word until I come out here, so he's just doing it for attention. Hey, you know this smells like candy? I put a lot of strawberry, watermelon, sweet scents in here. And I'm getting this all out because it's less to wash. And you'll see how good your soap is when you wash your utensils. During hot process, this is already soap. It needs to cool and it needs to dry out. And you can cut this in a matter of hours, usually. As long when it gets cool, you can cut it. When you go to wash your crock pot and your utensils, you'll see your suds. You'll see the bubbles. Okay, that's all I can do with that. I can actually touch this. I'm just going to take this and that down. See? So I use quite a bit of castor oil in this. So my this soap is softer than normal. Alright, that's it, boys and girls. Thank you for making soap with me. As you see, I look a little bit better than from early this morning. So, bye. See you soon for cold process design making soap. Bye. Suds will look like. I have to wash as I go. I wash as I go. And it's easy to clean up when you have soap already in the pot. So